We focus a lot on lean manufacturing, data-driven quality controls, robust training, supply chain optimization. I think all of those things kind of collectively drive high operational efficiency.
Welcome to Beyond the Light, a podcast where we explore the stories, innovations, and people driving the future of medical lighting and technology. I'm your host, Lindsay Jankovic. Today I'm joined by Craig Shields, Chief Operating Officer at Lumitex. Hi, Craig. Thanks for joining.
Hi, Lindsay.
With over 30 years of experience in operations and supply chain management and a Lean Six Sigma black belt, Craig has already made a big impact since he joined the team. He's been crucial to driving operational excellence here at Lumitex. In this episode, we'll talk about how Lumitex ensures efficiency and quality in manufacturing, how we maintain reliability in our global supply chain, and the ways that innovation is shaping our operation to better serve our customers. Let's dig in. Craig, I know how important operational efficiency is in manufacturing. Can you talk about how Lumitex ensures a high level of efficiency and quality in production, and maybe also touch on what advantages that offers to our customers?
Sure, Lindsay. I would say, we focus a lot on lean manufacturing, data-driven quality controls, robust training, supply chain optimization. I think all of those things kind of collectively drive high operational efficiency. This definitely translates into the reliable, high-quality products that we have, predictable delivery schedules, strong compliance assurance, all of that kind of ensuring patient safety, regulatory trust, and kind of overall product competitiveness.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be challenging managing a global supply chain for such highly specialized components. Mm-hmm. How do you maintain reliability in our supply chain?
Yeah, it's pretty complex. It's not one thing. It's a multi-layering kind of strategy solution, if you like. But I think also it's really important to try to keep things simple. Timeliness, quality, cost. Essentially that's what we're all about. So, for us, we focus an awful lot on supplier selection. We use supplier audits, supplier performance monitoring. We obviously use a lot of, incoming inspection protocols, to make sure that materials and components that we receive are, the quality that we expect. And then certainly I would say, sound inventory and logistics practices, a lot of communication, with vendors and suppliers, all of that kind of ensures that, the components and materials that, that we're ordering are delivered on time and meet all of the quality standards that we're looking for.
Yeah, on-time delivery, I imagine, is probably one of the tougher things, especially in times of challenging situations. Are there any strategies that you think are really effective with on-time delivery?
Depends which end of the supply chain you're talking about. So, on-time delivery from vendors. Again, it's been very smart around your purchasing protocols. You're making sure you're up to date with lead times from vendors, and making sure you've got good relationships with with your vendors is really what's important. Utilizing everything that you can just to make sure things are delivered on time. On the other end of the spectrum, delivering to customers, it really is about ensuring you've got that drumbeat within, the production environment. Make sure everybody knows what the numbers are. What are we trying to achieve? I'm a big believer in visual management, big believer that everybody knows what we're trying to achieve today, this week, this month. And, making sure that all of that is in place makes us really successful. We're very good at meeting the plans because we all know what the plan is.
That transparency.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. I'd like to shift gears towards innovation. In what ways would you say that you're innovating within our operations and manufacturing?
Sure. So probably two different areas. I think one area that from the operations side, partnering with our engineering team is really, really important upfront. So when you think about new product development, we have a really important role to play. When we think about DFX, so design for manufacturing, design for assembly, we have a really important part to play in that, making sure that as we're developing new products, we're thinking about these things so that when we get out of the gate with new products, we can scale fast and we can scale reliably. Those things are really important. I think we're doing a really good job now of looking into the future pipeline, thinking about those things, as well as looking down the pipeline and thinking about, again, scalability, automation opportunities. those types of things are really important for us. And then again, internally, innovation really is around those few things of incorporating lean principles, using Kaizen. How do we drive efficiency in that kind of way? And then I always say, we've got a lot of very talented and engaged people here at Lumitex at all levels in the organization. So we get a lot of feedback, directly from the production line, from lots of other people. And that gives us lots of ideas on how we can improve things kind of continuously. And that's super duper important with everything that we're doing. And then I'm also really excited to see how AI will play a part for us in the future. I think process flow automation, that just as one piece is going to be really important for us in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I've always said we have some of the most passionate employees.
Yep, we do. Yeah, I always really enjoy kind of walking the floor every day, and people will always stop me and they'll always share with me what's going well and what isn't, and those things are always they're always welcome, and those things are always really important. I always say nobody knows how to fix what we're doing or how to improve what we're doing better than the people who are doing the job. And so that's where we should get a lot of our ideas from, and we do. And that's part of what makes us, very successful.
That's great. Craig, I've worked with you closely enough to see times that you've had to adapt really quickly. Are there any process improvements that you've implemented to solve those operational challenges that happen on the fly?
I think strategies that I've implemented, I don't know. I think it's just a way of working. I think we try to make sure that we're all really clear on what it is that we're trying to do, and who's responsible for what. We're very clear on roles and responsibilities. We have a lot of structure around the work that we execute. I think that allows us then the freedom, if you like, to adapt when things come up, because it's not, we're not chasing things every single day. We're pretty clear on what it is that we're trying to get done. So when things occur, it's knowing who are the right people to help. It's asking for help. When things come up, that I think is also really important. We're very good at getting the right people together quickly, understanding what the situation is, and then coming up with a game plan for solving, and whether that's something immediate or something next week or next month. We're very good at organizing ourselves to do that. But again, that comes from having a lot of standard work in place, having a lot of standard processes in place that mean 99% of what we think we're going to do is what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Craig, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your perspective on what it takes to build operational excellence in manufacturing. Your insights into how Lumitex continues to innovate and strengthen operations were incredibly valuable. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay.
And to our viewers, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to follow Beyond the Light for more stories from the people driving the future of medical lighting technology. And until next time, keep pushing boundaries and keep improving life with light.